What's good, everybody? Yeah, welcome to this podcast, Surviving Krypton podcast, episode 1. We're going to be talking about the Supergirl trailer. I'm going to show it to y'all. Also, I'm going to tell you about more about this podcast and future content to come. So let's get into this trailer. Let me know what y'all think about this trailer, right? All right.
Hey, I was just touching base to see when you think you might be coming back.
All
I'm
right,
just
so
worried that you're not going to find your stride
that's
here and it just keep going
Superman
off the
talking to
rails.
his cousin. They go crypto. They playing catch out of
You're not gonna find
space.
your people.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Clark. I have no
She lost all her people. Only ones left with her was really is crypto that she grew up with, really, right? Clark was long gone about time,
almost
you
ready
know.
for your buddy.
So Krypton had blew up. Well, not all of it. Her was just floating on that thing I just seen with a little dome over it.
Crypto and I at least had each other.
So yeah, like I just said, feel me?
I thought we were lucky.
I like how they doing it, taking the stuff from the comic
That's my
book
definition runs.
and onto this. So trust me, they did their thing. Just in this trailer, I'm looking at that. Even in the comic book, Crypto gets shot with an arrow by this guy. It's Creme of the Yellow Hills.
3 days.
3 days to save Crypto. They must save Crypto. And the same guy
Crime of the Yellow
who just killed her family.
who murdered my innocent family.
See? So yeah, Creme of the Yellow Hills. Remember that name. That's
What
the.
I say,
And so now they in the bar. I remember the bar scene.
don't die. This
And
does
so
not look like this
look
is
at all the
going well.
odds against him in there. But Supergirl's a fighter. She ain't a quitter. So yeah, she aired him out. There go Lobo, the main man. All right. Okay, coming out June. That's a mother that died right there. So surreal. 'Cause I remember my mom died back in 21, and when I see my mom's dead body, like yeah, that was tough to take in. But it's his life. You just make the best you can. Yeah, see that. And we seeing Supergirl becoming the hero that she was meant to be. You see in this trailer, right? See the fly. I like the fly and stuff. She goes by her own rules, though, right? Basically, though, it's Supergirl, a hero nonetheless. But she had to give her some things too, as you see, right? That's kryptonite poison that was on her face and stuff. There go baby Crypto again.
Buddy.
Like Crypto means everything to her, so she'll move plans to make sure Crypto's all right and stuff. So yeah. So I believe this movie is supposed to take place between Superman and Men of Tomorrow. So it's somewhere in between in that. There go Lobo again, wreaking havoc once again as Lobo does. So yeah, okay, let me stop. So they are, all gonna celebrate Supergirl because that's part of Superman Day. That's a tradition. But now you get to celebrate Supergirl, Superman, and Crypto. So this trailer for me, it was a 9. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh well, she's not pretty enough," whatever. Try to call her ugly, but she's not ugly to me. And I look at the skill and the craft. If you can act, you can act. I don't care if you got a big breast or nothing. I don't mean nothing. So we need to stop to over sexualize so like these young females, right? Stop doing that. It's kind of like, to me, that's kind of weird though. But what do I know? But like I said, I've been following Superman since the 90s. I read up on Supergirl. I'm pretty versed in Supergirl. So basically, with the Supergirl, when you're dealing with the woman tomorrow, she Krypton exploded. Clark came right as a newborn baby. He don't know about no destruction or nothing to Krypton. And Kara was supposed to go to look after, I guess, her baby cousin, but he's all grown up now, Superman. And so now she's like, damn, so now that her purpose was that, but now that purpose is gone, and now she's still trying to find her way, navigate through the universe, find her place and all. But one constant thing been for Supergirl is Crypto, right? Since he was a puppy. So, and then as they'll take you through this journey, this outer space opera journey, whatever. People try to compare it to Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's nothing like Guardians of the Galaxy. The tone is completely different. The stakes are completely different. It has nothing to do with Guardians. Maybe if the way it might look, you might say, "Oh, it's trying to be Guardians," but it's not though. It's completely different in that regard, and people just say that just to try to shit on anything that DCU does if it's because it's associated with James Gunn. There's a lot of hatred for James Gunn. There's a certain upper fandom that just hates, hopefully that Paramount fires and get rid of James Gunn and figure, yeah, we got Sony's invested with the Paramount and they figured that they're going to bring back the Snyderverse. Let's remember, Snyderverse, okay, remember Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman all in the same movie did not gross $1 billion at that box office at that time. And you have a film like Aquaman grossed $1 billion. So come on, right? And so maybe they're talking about bringing back Juan back instead of Zack Snyder because he grossed $1 billion, right? But the second one didn't do so well. So yeah, but me personally, I would rather see James Gunn cook. I believe this movie's going to do well. People sleep on this movie. They don't want it to do good. Because you don't want something to do good doesn't mean it's going to do good or vice versa. But I believe this movie's going to gross over $400 million at the box office, worldwide box office, when it's all said and done. And another thing is, I'm going to go to also talk about more. I'm going to talk about more about this podcast. But before I get to that, I want to show you something about. Listen, remember when Netflix was trying to get WB? Oh, it's a problem. Netflix bad for affiliates, this and that, right? It's bad and stuff. But what do we know about Paramount under these Ellisons? Not a whole lot. What are their true intentions? We don't know. We know they're in bed with the Saudis. They're in bed with Trump, right? I'm not ashamed to say that. But look at this though. And now we got Cinema United urges state attorney generals to scrutinize Paramount WBD merger, which they should. Trump and his corrupted cronies, whatever. Don't let them, because it's all a play to get rid of what CNN. Because I think we should have independent news, neutral, not be on one side or to the other. Just call it how it is. News should never be one-sided or distant. It should call it how it is. Report the news as it news is happening. So I'm just saying I don't want. That's one of the things I don't want. And then I just don't trust these Ellisons though. Can they put out really good movies? I don't trust they can. Right, and it's gonna cost a lot of jobs. Whatever, a lot of jobs, and I'm never for that because. I remember me personally. I worked for the union for over 20 plus years. UPS worker, so I know what could happen, with all this stuff. So, but no, I hopefully they go scrutinize this deal and stuff and block it possibly because they have so much control and stuff. And you know what? They all they doing is saying the things that Netflix was saying, right? And I truly believe that Netflix will allow Warner Brothers to operate independently because it how I should say they complement both those businesses complement each other because Netflix doesn't have a studio and that'll be the way of getting the studio whatever, right? And now we're starting to see Netflix send some of these stuff to Blu-rays and stuff like K-pop Demon Hunters, the phenomenon that was. You got the Frankenstein movie. So we'll see more stuff like that possibly coming up physical media and whatnot. And I believe Netflix will get into the theater business somewhat in some shape or form or fashion where with possibly they'll probably get their own studio, whoever had to get it from. But I believe Netflix will build their own studio. Now, as far as with this podcast, I'm going to tell you about one of this podcast I'm doing, which is Surviving Krypton podcast, right? Being that this is episode 1, so we cover mostly like the House of L type of stuff, meaning like Superman, Supergirl, whatever, right? That's related to that and stuff like, and also I will cover like big comic events like coming down the line. You will have some Absolute Crisis. I will be covering that. And you have I believe he's going to have an Absolute Superman and Batman crossover, I believe, in November, something like that. So I'll be covering that and what's happening in the mainline universe of Superman with Superboy Prime taking over for Superman. And I will break that down and let y'all know what happened. Why is he taking over and stuff. So I will let y'all know that. All of that. I will let you know that. What's going on in the books and stuff. Where you have, remember back in the 90s, you had the reign of Superman when Superman had died and was gone. Now this one, it's going to be called like, sort of like the reign of the Superboy. So yeah, so I'll let y'all know what's going on with that. And that's, basically in future content, I'll be doing stuff like that. Some comic book related stuff, Superman stuff, all of that. And also, I do stream and record video gameplay, right? Constantly, I'm playing, currently I'm playing Crimson Desert. I like the game a lot, so I'm trying to get right in that game. But yeah, that's basically it. This definitely is going to be a pro Superman channel by the name of it, Surviving Krypton, right? And so far, we know 2 people out there that survive, and a pet that survived Krypton. You know, Superman, obviously, and Supergirl. So yeah, I'll be just doing stuff like that. That's what I like. If you have any recommendations, maybe certain anime or whatever, let me know. I'll cover it. But mainly, it's gonna be focusing on really Superman related stuff. So that's all I want to say. I hope y'all come rock out, support your boy. So it ain't gonna be super long podcast. I do like probably max maybe 15 or 20 minutes because I know everybody got something they got to do. So I want this to be a good time, not a long time. A good time doesn't have to be a long time, but a good time is just a good time. So yeah, I want to give you this, man. Rock out for your boy. I'm thinking about when I reach 300 subs, possibly give someone a ticket to the Supergirl movie coming out June 26th. You know, it'll be standard tickets. So you know, or whatever. Or I could do IMAX. I don't know, but like once I get to 300 subs, then we do a Supergirl giveaway, movie ticket, whatever. And remember, I'm at like what 287. So what's it like? 13 more to go. Yeah. So hopefully I get those 300 subs or more before the movie comes out, right? So hopefully we get it like if we get it sometime this month, which is nothing, or May, whatever. But yeah, hopefully we get close to 300 though. But I have to get more on my ground in this like that. But that's what I'm doing, right? I'm gonna keep it nice and simple. Just talk about stuff like that, you know. But hopefully we'll get some resolution to this Warner Brothers. Like they supposed to have a board vote. April the 20th, I believe, and they could just vote. But hopefully, man, this deal gets shot down, whatever, and WB gets that $7 billion back from if the deal gets blocked, you know, and put that towards the debt they owe. But yeah, hopefully Warner Brothers could. I wanted Netflix to get it because I think they did right by it. You know, maybe I'm being naive, but that's what I wanted though. But if not, let the deal get blocked, and they just stay, you know, they just stay truly independent and just try to make, you know, not follow the same mistakes as other mergers did, and stay independent and continue to grow because they got a lot of good content though. And so, I'm probably hating, but Paramount deserves to have Warner Brothers. The Ellisons, they messed up too much, right? They don't deserve it, and that's my stance. And, you know, and, I support James Gunn and the content he brings to the DCU, and hopefully he can continue to stay there and make more managing stuff. Like I like basically all the films that James Gunn done and stuff. But I trust in I'm gonna trust in the process. But I'm always gonna be pro Krypton, Superman, or whatever, and pro DC comics. I dabble in some Image comics and some Marvel stuff, but yeah, but it's like Superman or nothing basically at this point. Like the House of L or nothing basically. So that's why I rock it. And you know, this is the first episode of the podcast. Hope you check it out whenever you get a chance. And like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all else looking for, want me to cover and stuff. And I'll try my best to do that. Oh yeah, also I'm definitely watching. I'm liking Invincible so far. So if y'all like Invincible, let me know if y'all rock with that. All right, I'm out here to the next one. Peace.